Welcome back to another wonderful episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host Liz, and with Tyrant Dominus, aka Jesus. And if it's your first time listening, please subscribe. We always like those little subscribe buttons. And if not, you don't have to. We're not making you. But welcome back. I'm back. Okay. Anyways, how are you, Jesus?
I'm doing good. Yes, Liz is back, and thank you for everyone who decided to come and be our guest host. It was fun. It was wonderful to have you all. But Liz is back, like we all said she was. Like, yeah, some of you guys were saying that she quit the show, that she was done. Like, no, she can't get rid of me, and I won't get rid of her. I'm gonna just drag her back no matter what. Just because we need.
You literally chained me, balled me to the computer
chair
and told me how to work.
Yep, she's on the right now. You can't see it. That chair she's tied to until she's done recording 7 episodes. We're not. Yeah. But yes, how are you, Liz? It's been a hot minute.
Good.
Been a hot minute. If
I'm
anyone,
good.
yeah. So if anyone really wants to get the full details of what happened, we do have that bonus episode, kind of explaining Liz's kind of thing. We might do a second bonus episode, another bonus episode, kind of doing the aftermath. I think that's whatever you want to call it. Kind of your whole
Could decide that.
Yeah, we'll decide that. We'll see. But how have you been? How has your time off basically been? Things like that. Just kind of catch us up a little bit.
I'm not finished with work yet. I haven't even started going back to work. I'm actually pretty good. I'm feeling better. Working on what as of today of our host or going this podcast today. It is 5 weeks post-op. I am doing wonderful. I am doing really well. The healing's going well. I'm quite ready to go back to work because I'm a little still sore and working on my kinks of getting back into full strength. But yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm pretty good. I'm happy and excited. I am definitely going to be transformation. I hope we get some new pictures in the next few weeks. And if you've been watching, I have been posting on my Insta, and I haven't done any TikToks lately, but yeah, I'm excited and well, I'm glad to be back. Kind of feel some sort of normalcy to my life again.
There you go.
And how are you, Jesus?
Like yourself, we have met up recently. We just went to my sister's wedding this past weekend. It was fun, getting to see that, getting to do all that. I'm like relegating a lot of that recouping and just still taking care of stuff. It's like, for Hispanic weddings, you're busy before and after the wedding. Like the only quote break, not you. I didn't even have a break during the wedding, but
I don't think you did. You were going.
But yeah, it was fun. At the end of the day, it was fun, and we're thinking of having a bonus episode, kind of going to full details of some of the fun, the good, the bad, the ugly of what happened the days before, the days of, and a little bit after. We might even have a special guest on that episode. But yeah, for the most part, I think we both enjoyed it. It was fun. It was hectic, but I'm kind of glad it's over. And within the next few days, I should be done with some of the things because my body still is aching like crazy from all that. But more details in the bonus.
Need a long weekend off.
I genuinely wished I had the vacation. I took the vacation week for this. It would have made things so much easier. Like my father took 2 weeks, the week before and the week after. He planned properly.
You did not.
No, I did not. So
he's like, this is not my first rodeo.
Nope. But yeah, so before we jump into the story book, because we have a specific story just ripe for what we were talking about. Don't forget to follow and subscribe if you're on YouTube or Spotify or any of the podcast platforms. that helps us out. Share it on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. You know, it's these things that help us showcase the show, let people know more about it through social media. But if you can't do it through there, word of mouth. Word of mouth is the best way to do it. Tell a friend, tell a family member, slap it in their face. You know, let them know about the program because it really helps us out. And if you want to help us financially, you can support us by joining us by purchasing merch at merch.tyrantdominus.com. And you can pick up something else to represent and like show people, yes, I listen to those weirdos on the internet. Because, you know, we have some of the wild stories that the mans they don't stop, you know, and I'm glad that some of our guests had some fun with some of the stories we had. And some of them are actually willing to come back to be our third guest host for a couple episodes here and there.
Hey, yeah, I would definitely like that.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We might have just they might make a comeback here and there. Not all the time, but you know, they were gracious enough to just take a moment of their day of that week. But they might be coming back every once in a while. No promises though. But yeah. Let's start with this first story, Liz. I'll let you start because it's you might be a little rusty here. Let's get you kind of.
I might be.
Let's get you
polished up and ready to go.
Go for it. Go for it.
All right. Alleged serial wedding crasher arrested after showing up to Mississippi wedding uninvited. Pontiac, Mississippi. A woman was arrested after being accused of crashing a wedding in Mississippi. Authorities arrested Sandra Lynn Henson on Saturday, September 30th, at the wedding, according to Pontiac County Sheriff's Department. She faces the petty larceny. Why can't I say that word
Larceny.
Today? Larceny. Trespassing and disturbing the peace charges. Apparently, Miss Henson has been arrested in Alabama, Tennessee, and Mississippi for crashing weddings, stealing money, and cards from purses, according to the Sheriff's Department.
Okay, no more. Okay.
That was about it.
Well, overall, so wedding crashing, there's literally a movie based off it. You know, but
that was a good one. That was like they were just there for the fun to hype it up.
Yeah, they did
not
kind
stealing.
There is a glorification of wedding crashing, but the idea, maybe because the idea of going to a wedding doesn't really facilitate my idea of fun. Like, I had fun at my sister's wedding, but the idea of going to a stranger's wedding is not like my thing. And like, it seems like there's a level of bruh. I don't know. It's just I can't picture myself doing that. What about you? Like,
I can't do that either. Like, I can't do it. Like, I feel awkward. I already feel awkward going to weddings. Like, I'm avoiding personally, like, having to do the throw the bouquet thing. Like, no, it's not my thing. Going over to the side. I've avoided perpetually.
But yeah, it's like I genuinely just like. This woman, she just like was literally like maybe like free food and maybe get away with some petty cash here and there, because yeah, it's definitely, people don't really notice things when during wedding people leave their purses, things are just around. I can see how it's easy, they're easy marks, but it's just like, wow, this is where you're coming from, this is your level of crime. And it seems like what's the I've only heard petty larceny. What does that actually entail? What is actually petty? Do you know off the top of the head? Do you know what that even is?
I feel like I do, but for some reason I'm not having the mental capacity for it.
Let's find out. The Webster's dictionary says, involving larceny involving property of value below a legal established minimum. So it's like if you're stealing an X amount of money, so like you stole $50 worth of something, the minimum.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Petty.
Yeah. It's petty. Yeah. Like, yeah,
petty.
I only stole $100 worth of your belongings. I was like, it's still like I stole.
It's cool. It's fine.
But goddamn, that seems like
I only saw your cards. I haven't used them yet.
oh my god, it's so funny. I that just knowing that now, it makes it funny when it's like, yeah, I had pet larceny. What? How much did you steal? Like $5? I This sounds so fucking.
Was it worth it for $5?
Fuck shit. But you know, she gets what she deserves. It sounds as she was like a chronic wedding crasher, and not in the good way. And yeah, it's just like I genuinely just don't know what goes through the minds of people like this woman. Like
I don't know either.
because yeah, I can see it like in the fun way. Even the fun way. Like I said, I personally couldn't go to weddings like that. And I know different weddings do different like styles and things like that. So it's like how you can get into the mood of weddings, but it's like depending on your personality. But yeah, it's she had it. And you know, September I found out is like big wedding month. So it's like September's her like hunting season basically. It was hunting season for her. Okay, I actually want to talk about something more recent that just happened, and it scared the crap out of me.
Oh, really?
Yes.
You got any shit left in you?
Oh god, I hope so, because they're supposed to keep my bowels moving properly. So apparently, so you got this message earlier yesterday, the day before, or recently, just recently.
It was yesterday.
Yeah, the whole emergency alert thing. And
I actually was in the shower when that happened, and I had my phone out in the kitchen. My mom's like, "Oh, did you purposely do that so you could avoid it?" I'm like, "Nope, I just went to shower."
I didn't know about it because I didn't get the early messages like, yes, we'll be testing, right? Because that's one positive, that like, yes, we're testing the alert system. For anyone who doesn't know, there's an emergency alert system to kind of notify people like, hey, X is happening in their area, something big. It's kind of like close to the Amber Alert system, but it actually was accidentally triggered a couple of years back when Hawaii had like a missile crisis thing, and it turned out to be a false alarm. But it's meant for things like that. If like say a missile is heading or anything is happening, it's a very crucial thing, because sometimes you only get like minutes at a time. So it is a very crucial thing, but boy, did it like
emotional damage.
It hit me when it woke me up, because I didn't know about it, and it like and I have two phones in my room, so it hit me twice, and I was asleep, and I'm like, oh, like what the fuck's happening? I was like running, like looking around, trying to turn it off, and then once I turned off one phone, because it wasn't like consistent with everything. It's not like it's gonna hit all phones at the same time, so it's like different time signatures. The other phone goes off, and I'm like, oh god, it just freaked me out. And so what's fun? No, what fun is understating. What's disturbing is all the conspiracies that just came out through this thing. Oh god,
know,
like
right?
it's so. I love it and hate it all at the same time. Like we've spoken about trying to talk about a few conspiracies here and there, but we haven't like fully conceptualized the idea of it, because there's some good ones, some weird ones, and some like it's best not to talk about them. But boy, just talking about this one, because everyone and their mother was like on TikTok, on Facebook, messaging, texting each other about all these things. Is there any one that just comes to mind that you heard, Liz, before I kind of go through a list of some of the ones that this article has?
No. Honestly, I didn't. No, because I guess I wasn't paying attention because I was far away from my phone going off. Nope, I don't know anything. I mean, I was aware that this was coming on. That they were like forewarned it like 2-3 weeks ago, and saying, "Oh, this alarm's going off on October 4th. Beware, be careful." I had other things just preoccupying my time with my daughter's school. That was fun. It was all over the news. It's still on Reddit, so yeah, it's great.
So Okay, so here are some of the conspiracies that came out of it. Apparently, the signal, that sound you hear, that specific tone, that's a specific tone. That tone is meant to kind of activate with other devices to kind of like activate certain things. So there's an actual reason for that tone. So that's why I'm not gonna play it just in case it's being played on speakers, because that tone is actually supposed to work with other devices to kind of like kind of activate stuff. In a sense, it's and that's me being a little bit layman on there. But it's a specific tone to kind of like, hey, this is happening, and you know what's happening, and other devices kind of like kick up, like, oh, something's happening. But then this is where
Yeah.
some of the conspiracy. Apparently, this tone was supposed to activate it's the 5G waves and turn some of the COVID vaccine into in turn be able to like start inflaming your insides.
Okay. Well, I wasn't near it, so we're good.
Liz was like safe from it. I got hit with double waves. Apparently, I'm like, so whatever happened, like I got.
He's a zombie, y'all. He's a zombie.
Oh, talking about zombies. Apparently, there was the wave was there was a specific I forget which vaccine, but there's another vaccine, not COVID vaccine, a different one, that it was going to activate the minerals in that vaccine that will turn you into a zombie. So I'm like, what the heck? And then there was
Okay,
another
y'all.
one that the
Even
way.
though it's a drug out there that actually make you act like a zombie, but what do I know?
So yeah,
And
then
it's on the street. It's not like anywhere else.
and I'm like, it's just these things. And then there was other ones where it's like, yeah, this is a code to get the message out that something is specifically happening at a certain area, like a coded message that it had the time and place where you were at, because the frequencies were at different times. And it's just like, I generally don't like, some people just don't have time in their day, but some people just have so much time with their day. Like, well, maybe you can kind of understand
I
because
have
now
so
you
much time in my day, but apparently I don't come up with some conspiracy theory.
because yeah, because you have actual like what's the word I want to say? You actually have some responsibilities in your life.
Yeah, yeah. Surprise, surprise.
So yeah, compared to other people who are like, yeah, like I have really nothing and I'll live on the internet. You just start going wild. But yeah, it's these things that it's just like there's more to these things. There's more conspiracies, but it's just like, why are everyone thinking the apocalypse is about to happen? That the tone of this thing is actually a healing wave. That you should be reveling. Yeah, there's a lot, Liz. There's a lot to this.
Wow. God, I'm so glad I've been avoiding TikTok in the last couple of days then.
And it's just like,
Oh,
it's
boy.
it is wild, some of the things that people came up with are, and the thing is, it's one person and then it gets telephoned out, and it's just people talking, and people like, there's some gullible people out there. And it's just like, oh, this is true. And then it's next thing you know it, you're gonna be talking with your aunt on Thanksgiving dinner, like, did you see the tone and the 5Gs out there? Like, I'm glad I didn't get vaccinated. I'm not one of those people. Like, okay, Aunt Gloria, like I understand. Um, and it's just like, and it's just that these things, like, I get it. People want to make it seem interesting and things, but it was just an emergency signal. Like, I can get where, like, they're
This
specifically.
emergency signal's been around since I was a kid. I remember the specific tone every time. It hasn't changed in my 30 some years of life. It's not going to change anytime soon.
The thing is,
I know.
the only thing that's changed is it's updating up to phone now. Like what we used to.
Yeah,
What
it's
we
updated the phones.
the
I
only
remember on TVs and radios. I do
that's what
remember
they,
them specifically.
because that's what that was originally with their primary source, but now they have more ways to communicate with people, with everyone having a phone at this day and age. So, but which is good, because now everyone can be ready for any situation. So like, if for some reason here in like the state of Oregon, if there's like some missile crisis about to happen, I'm like, okay, we have 10 minutes before something hits the closest the what's the metropolitan area city? Is that what the big city, right? That would be Portland
Yeah.
for us. If like, oh, Portland's about to hit, we would only have like 15 minutes before something happens. All right, like all right, we'll see what happens. We have 15 minutes to check in with our loved ones and like wait and see, because we really generally don't have much times. People really don't know that. It's like some people like it, like that the incident with Hawaii, they literally only had like 4 minutes if it was really happening with their crisis. And since we're like on the other side of a little bit, like a couple like 100 miles away out, 6 minutes is still so much time. um and it's these things are like these like services that for the most part we're paying with our taxes, but that then just get misconstrued. I'm like, come on guys, really? This is where you're going with this. So it's like, okay, yes, it's this wave. It's like back when 5G was a thing, and like, yeah, no, 5G is the thing that caused COVID. Like, sure, right. Oh my god. Now it's this tone.
Well, it was like needles. They had the implanting of the computer devices. And I'm like,
Yep.
well, you carry a phone, don't you? And a credit card and a debit card or whatever. The government can track that way. Oh, well, okay, whatever. What do I know? They've been only doing that for, I don't know, God knows how many years. It's been what? 180s, 30 years ago, 40 years ago now at this point.
That's the other thing, right? It's like it's just it's been around forever. And it's not going away. We're gonna have it, and I'm glad we have it. I'd rather have like some prior notice. Now I'll start to look for when they're gonna do it before I go to bed now, because I do not want the living shit scared out of me for just waking me up.
Well, they won't do it for another few years. I don't think they did it last year.
Yes, I think that's because of COVID though. Do they do it yearly, or I think they do it yearly.
I think they're supposed to do it yearly, but because of everything that's been going on, they haven't. So I think we're gonna be. I mean, we'll probably hear it every year now going forward. I mean, this is that it. I mean,
That's fine. I'm not too concerned. I completely forgot about
I'd
it.
rather be forewarned about a tsunami coming that I can head towards, the desert.
Or a major earthquake. Like, oh yes,
Yeah.
the big one's coming. All right, it's do or die time. So let's bunker
Yeah.
down. All right, let's get away from the doom and gloom and kind of go into something interesting from our childhood. So, Liz,
Okay.
were you a Toys R Us kid?
I wasn't not because I don't think there was too many near my house at the time. So growing up in SoCal, so I don't think so.
Oh, but you've been inside them though, right?
I've been to one or two of them in my lifetime. Yeah,
Okay.
maybe. I don't remember. It's been a long time. So it's been a long time since my little one has been little.
So yeah, so apparently Toys R Us is making a comeback. It's opening up 20 new flagship stores. And some of them are going to be in like airports and cruise ships come this holiday season. But it's one of those like stories where like there's been major major store brands that were like Toys R Us is big. It's like Toys R Us and the giraffe. I forget. I think it was Jeffrey or something like that.
Yeah, Jeffrey with a G, not a J, a G, I believe.
And it's just one of those things like everyone would go to Toys R Us for the holidays to buy presents and all that stuff. You would take your kids in there. I remember going to Toys R Us, just like looking around. It was window shopping for, and now they went under back in, when would they go back under?
I wouldn't say it was in the last few years. Oh yeah,
2017.
2017. It was big.
Yeah, so it's been six-ish, a little bit just shy of 6 years. So they've been gone for a while. But now they're making a comeback. And what are your initial thoughts, just knowing that they're just making some pop-up stores here and there?
That's cool. I mean, I thought for a while they were doing it within Macy's. I want to say in the last couple of years they were doing some pop-ups, because I know I've been into the mall recently, and the Toys R Us, quote unquote, section of Macy's where the Toys R Us dedication, and yeah, but it's kind of cool. I'm glad they're coming back, and they were able to bring some come back, and maybe they're doing well now, and who knows, maybe that was what all they needed was a little bounce, a step back and then a bounce back.
I think
I mean, I still remember the magazines as a kid, so
True. Actually, recently my nephew found the Amazon Christmas thing.
Oh, I know, my daughter did too.
And I'm like, and I didn't even realize I got one under my name. I'm like, oh, and he comes to my room, wakes me up. Hey, I want this one and this one. And I'll be honest, I was him at that age, like looking at that book for the Toys R Us magazine, telling my parents I want that one, and I'm just like, sure, what do you want? And I said, you can only have one. No, I want that one and that one. And then he turns the page. I want that one too. I'm like, okay, just tell me what you want and I'll mark it. I think that's one of the things. I think it's just one of those things with the age of the internet now. Toys R Us really didn't. People just ordered online. It was like. So I think the biggest market was during Black Friday for the most part is as much as it is like it's a big spending season for most shopping companies. I think specifically for Toys R Us during that time because people were just shopping, and with the age of online, people just ordering all their stuff online. Like Amazon, you can just look at. I got an Amazon magazine. So they're doing the Toys R Us thing.
I just got a Walmart one recently, so
it's just like I can see why they're doing only 24 stores, and some of them are in just like these like niche little places where you're like, oh yeah, you're at the airport and you see a Toys R Us. Oh cool, we can just pop in, get a souvenir for whoever you're visiting, or take a souvenir back. Actually, are you a souvenir type of person? Like when you go to a place, do you get souvenirs for people and vice versa?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't, just depending on where I'm going. Like this weekend I'm going to Seattle. I definitely probably might be getting a little something just because of the event we're going to. It'll be some sort of fun. Yeah, so maybe. I don't know. I have done it for people. I actually have somebody's magnets still in my drawer. I still have to give them to them. The last time I saw them, I couldn't find it.
Wait. Did you just say mayonnaise?
Not a single fuck was given this day.
Okay, I thought you said mayonnaise, and I'm like,
you're
why?
Tired. Get some coffee in you.
I will in a moment. For a second, I thought like, why does she have mayonnaise in the drawer and it's not in the fridge? Okay, yeah.
Remember, it's shelf stable before you put it in the fridge, okay?
A lot of people don't know that, so make sure you know that. People don't know these things, Liz. Like, people keep their condiments left out right after they open it. It's a thing, Liz. Did you come on, you know this.
No, I guess I was raised in America's ways.
No, you were not. Americans do this all. They leave their mayo, their ketchup, their mustard. All their stuff is the second they open it, it's like, oh, it just left out. Yeah, it's fine. We bought it off on the shelf. It's fine off the shelf on not in the fridge. Liz, this is a normal thing. Oh my god, you can tell now, Liz, how
Mayo's eggs. Eggs go bad.
I know that, Liz. This is how you know Liz was raised really privileged because she had refrigerated mayo.
And look at that shit.
All right, but yeah, going back, I'm
still trying to get over the fact that they didn't have refrigerated milk when I was in Mexico. Okay,
you can just get fresh milk. That's why.
We didn't have that access when we were where I was.
Oh, I have no idea. We had access to fresh milk and evaporated milk. That's how I had it when I was visiting my family. We had a local dairy.
You weren't that lucky. Or we were.
Oh yeah, I was at first.
Well, like I said, you're in the more of a very populated town. I was in a very rural.
No, I was not. I was not. So
I had a shower with a bucket over my head. That was my shower.
Yeah, same. I have no idea why you're trying to out Mexican me, Liz. You can't. Anyways, but yeah, I'm glad Toys R Us is back. We might not be seeing them in our local area anytime soon, but you know what? If I end up going through an airport and I see it, I might pop in and see what's what, just to get a little nostalgia sense. Might pick up a gift for my nephew. But yeah, it's I'm glad to see they're doing back. And hopefully they won't like go out, like, just the toy store. You can only do so much these days, being a toy store. But yeah, okay. Any final thoughts there, Liz, before moving to the next story?
Oh my God, they're doing well.
Okay,
I'm glad they're doing well.
Let's go to the south and let's do Florida Man. I saw you posted a Florida Man story, and that always tickles.
Oh God, which one was that one?
Under the Wedding Crasher.
Oh yes.
Go ahead, because
this one I posted yesterday, I think.
Yeah, Florida Man stories. Florida Men are always the best. We love Florida men here. Florida men are the best. Florida men and Florida women. We love yous. Don't stop being yous. We love yous.
All right, you ready?
Go for it.
For the shock of your life.
Did I pick up the wrong one? Yeah, I got the wrong. No, you're fine. I gotta open it. You start. I opened the wrong one.
A Florida man has been accused of flinging hot coffee at McDonald's drive-thru employee, all because he was overcharged 1 cent.
1
penny. 1 penny.
Okay, I don't even think we need to read the article. I think we get the gist of it. Customer service people, we are customer service people. Like, we deal with a lot. And
this is a Kevin, the opposite of Karen is a Kevin.
Yes. It's just 1 penny. I can surmise, like, that's a penny. That's fine. Like, but to blatantly assault, this is assault, right? This is blatant assault.
Yeah, this is blatantly assault.
Like,
this is felony battery, they said.
Oh, that even better. It's like what gets people the gall to do that? You're going to a McDonald's first place to get a cup of coffee. My
coffee too, by the hand.
Yeah,
by the way.
it's not the greatest coffee, but it's consistent coffee. My parents get it every once in a while when they just want a cup of coffee and they're going somewhere, and they know what they're getting. It's simple, easy. It's nothing grand. But it kicks you awake, and it's decent. I would classify it like C or B tier. It's like, what you're getting. It's not expensive. It's like average. It's average, and the great thing about it is, like, it's not that expensive either. It's not like you're paying. It's not like you're going.
My brother traditionally goes on every Thursday to get his iced coffee for $1. He gets it every freaking Thursday for a freaking $1.
Yeah.
So a penny, I swear you can find one on the ground, y'all. Pick it up, or you might have one in your like cup holders. I know I still have pennies in my cup holders. Like, come on, just grab the fucking penny out of the fucking crap. It's a penny.
All right, let's see. Let me see if I can play you guys the audio. Let's see. Nope, I'm not gonna play that because that might be copyrighted because there's music behind it. So I will not do that. But yeah, you can. Well, there's a video on Instagram of, you can see the gentleman arguing with one of the staff members as she's just like, oh yes, and then let's see if I can I mute it? See if I can.
We look. His name is it Elizar?
The guy's name?
Yeah.
Elizar.
He looks like a white guy from this angle of the camera. Rebello. Jesus.
Anyway, that's
a fucking penny. Get over yourself.
Yeah, he was just
can't do anything about taxes. Blame your tax system, y'all.
Let's see here. Anything specific here? The staff shift manager. No. Anything interesting? I'm trying to see.
Eva Garcia.
No, I'm just trying to see. Was released $5,000 bond. Nothing too wild. Yeah, we figured most of it out. It's just more like how people just have like this over pretentiousness when it comes to like I get quote the customer's always right, but that's not the full quote to the customer. There's like a whole thing to the customer's always right. It's like until I think it's like actually I can look it up really quick. But what's the as far as customer service, what's the worst thing you've ever had to personally deal with customer service as a customer?
As a customer, or me as being a customer?
Yeah.
I've had some problems with it, but because I came from a retail establishment, I just have to have my calm. And my mom, you know, she's the quite opposite, even though she has been working in retail most of her life too. Yeah, it was like she gets really upset and frustrated, and I'm like, I can't get frustrated. Can't control the system. Can't fight the system. It is what it is. Like, moving on. It was. I just, you know, honestly, I have all the patience in the world, and I've had encountered, you know, I had a friend pick up a smoothie for me. It was free, so like I had no charge to me, and they were upset, and I'm like, you know, I can't control. COVID's still going rampant. The person was sick. I mean, like things are happening. It's just the way it is. The cookie crumbles. I mean, happened to visit my workplace yesterday, and there were a lot of COVID outbreak within the pharmacy. That was great.
Oh, that's so fun. That is so fun.
Yeah, I missed that one. And I did a good timing on my behalf. So, I mean, honestly, you kind of have to just deal with what's got and what you're given, and there's nothing else you can just do, just moving on, right? So, yeah, I have patience. But there's a point where like they're standing there and you're like looking at them. That's when I get a little frustrated. It'd be like, I click the button, I'm waiting for you, or they don't have it manned either. And it's like, okay, well, if you're gonna plan breaks and stuff like that, have somebody standing there to be there, you know? So I was just it's kind of frustrating. So.
Oh, so yeah, it can get. I get there. You know, there's points like points like that where like some the employee's not doing their job. Mostly in this day and age,
Yeah.
a lot of employees they're doing the bare minimum. Sometimes I don't even blame them.
That's because that's what they are getting paid for, the bare minimum. They end up being paid for shit. Come on, we already talked about the cost of living.
Exactly, right? Where is it?
Ugh.
Are you out of your mind?
This is me off, y'all.
And you know, so you can't. It's just. But when it gets to this point, when it's just for a single penny, it's like, are you? I'm like, that's what you do with your cup of coffee when you get mad at a person who's just trying to earn
the bare minimum of life.
That's not what they were expecting to deal with that morning on their shift. Like they were like, all right, I'm gonna get through my day. It might even be their Friday, you know, all right, my last day of the week. I've been dealing with everything, just one more shift, and I'm good for the next 2 days. And nope, it is hit with hot coffee. Luckily, since the whole coffee incident that happened years ago, it's not scorching hot coffee, because that would have been way worse.
Yeah, she still got scalded. I mean, that's still brutal.
That's bad. That's no matter what.
If we burn ourselves. It's like if we burn ourselves.
So yeah. Let's jump into the next story, because you talked about Seattle recently. Apparently, Seattle has to pay nearly $2 million after a man dies of a heart attack at address wrongly on 911 blacklist. Like I want to look into this. Yeah. So the city of Seattle will pay $1.86 million to a family of a man who died at the heart attack after a caution note attached to his address delayed medics response. A caution note, interesting. On November,
it's just like a blacklist for flying, right?
on November 2nd, 2021, William York died on his home after he went into cardiac arrest. Though his son called 911, Seattle Fire Department medics delayed entering to wait for the police escort, according to the family's attorney. The family alleged Yurick was wrongly included on a black list of people known to be hostile to police and fire crews. Oh, that's cool. That's interesting that you, like, if they see your name, like, there's like a little tag on, like, be careful with this individual, which is already bad.
We kind of have that, like, noted on the hospital. So just an FYI, guys, don't treat your hospital staff like crap. You will get blacklisted.
There you go. Yerk lived in a unit of a couple years before his death, and this previous tenant had been on an outdated list according to... Oh, so it was a previous tenant. Medics were told to wait for law enforcement's escort, and the lawsuit stated Yerk's condition worsened. His then 13-year-old son called 911 again and was told to help us on a way, even though medics were already arrived. That is fucked, you know...
13 years old, too. I feel sorry for this kid. That is so messed up. I mean, I've been through a trauma when my father passed away, and we were in our teens. If that was, like, the situation, I would have been so furious.
Like, some money cannot buy life back, and...
No, it can't, but this will set up this kid, hopefully, for life, if it's done right. Granted, people spend money like they have it, they got to spend it.
Yeah, mostly with yeah. So let's do anything more specific, because for the most part we get the gist of it. And medical doctors delayed. So you would have 25% of survival from beginning. The family wanted the city to take responsibility. That happened. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just like it's like, one, I understand it takes a lot of resources to check in with people, to know what buildings are being like, oh, this place is hostile, be warned. But at the end of the day, I thought we lived in, at least in America, we have a place where it's like, if you're hurt or your life is in danger, help will be on its way, in quotes, right?
And they were there. They were waiting for the police escort. And that's where they violate their due diligence of saving a life, correct? Right? They take that oath of living. I don't care if you're an EMT, a nurse, a fire department, they take in a health oath and saying, hey, we gotta help this person irregardless of the situation. But this person didn't seem like they were violent. I mean, shouldn't they have just gone in and assessed that? I mean, the person's having a fucking heart attack. Yes, he had a 25% chance of survival. But you would still do the best you can. What is their life? They would have had a better outcome probably. Maybe there would have been that 25% of, being alive. And yeah, they would have a long recovery ahead of them. But again, you do your due diligence, people. Get in and do your job. Sucks, yes. But that person's not violent and they're kind of incapacitated with a fucking heart attack. I've seen heart attacks. They're not violent. I've seen them.
But yeah,
and strokes. I mean, this is like, I don't know. This frustrates the shit out of me, being a healthcare worker. We don't stop just because that person's having a heart attack. Yes, we'll have security outside the room, but we still do our jobs the best we can, to the best of our ability. I shouldn't have delayed them at all. They should have gone in. Somebody could have been backup, said, okay, that person's violent. But a 13-year-old kid is calling. You would say, oh, I don't think that person's violent at this moment in time. They're having a fucking heart attack. The kid's scared out of its wits. The fact that this kid witnessed their dad dying, that is so fucked up.
It is messed up. It's just, like,
right out that door.
Like, it's literally a doorway for some level of salvation, and it's just like, stop. Yeah. It's one of those things where I get it for the other point where you're trying to protect the workers, the medics, but like you said earlier, there is some like you said, there's a code for saving people's lives to the best of your abilities, and sometimes people take that code like strongly compared to others, but at the end of the day, it's seeing who is willing to step up to kind of like save people is where we're getting this moment, and how much potential like
They could have started working on that
Emotional
person,
damage.
and the cops could come in to kind of evaluate the situation.
oh
Simple
yeah
as that. That is a messed up policy. They should have updated the record continuously every things change every freaking year. That person may not have lived, that person could change buildings year to year, that violent person. So they could be living in that building next year, be living, 5 miles away. It's just that's
it,
bullshit.
yeah all right so
Gosh, are you gonna be violent? No. Or obviously if he's having a heart attack, he's probably incapacitated. So how is this person gonna be violent? I don't know. You can sedate the person, them, and CPR their asses.
it's wild Liz, but this is hopefully, like you said earlier, I hope this family gets some level of recompense from it. I hope the kid is getting some level of therapy, because it is not something that you will outlive, definitely. But
Yeah.
talking about like moments of these where people need to be talking a little bit more, let's talk about the growing Snapchat sextortion schemes targeted young boys, experts warn. So, apparently this is supposed to be the new Nigerian prince scam.
Oh
So,
boy.
so just hearing about that sextortion.
Just an FYI, if you have a sensitive reaction to this story, there is an essay they're talking about, not an essay, unaliving
Yes.
situation. So please, if it's too sensitive to you, please disregard and skip
A couple.
hopefully.
Yeah.
A few minutes.
So a former Snapchat employee says sextortion schemes, which are becoming increasingly common on social media platforms, can have a severe impact on minors using these apps. Well, that is definitely true. We've talked before about how social media these days can have a lot of negative impact. We talked about we actually asked Liz when she would let her young girl use social media to an extent, because of how, for as many positives there are on there, there's way more negatives on there, like we're about to dive into. So let's continue and seeing kind of this what this sextortion is. So the FBI defines sextortion as a serious crime in which predators threaten to expose a victim's perpetrators, thank you, threatens to expose a victim's sensitive or private information, including nude photos, in exchange for money and more sexual exploiting material. Quote, the potential harm, especially as it relates to minors, is severe, unquote, the former employee who spoke on the condition of anonymity to protect his career said. Quote, we've seen thousands of reports this year, but the ratio of reported to not reported is pretty high. Probably less than 5% is actually reported. That's true. It's kind of this weird iceberg thing. Like, for every little thing we do know, like, there's way more that's happening. The issue began popping up more frequently on Snapchat beginning 2021, pandemic time. How does sextortion work? It's not really based around sexual content. It's fraud. It's basically financially motivated. It's like just trying to like get some money out of people. Bad actors posing as someone else online, practically as young, beautiful women from the United States or the Western European, will send messages or friend requests to numerous potential targets and then strike up conversation. Once the perpetrator establishes trust with a victim, they convince the victim to share nudes. That's kind of the beginning. Yeah, that's actually my account gets hit with like these weird like account names would have like numbers on the end, these, I don't know who the hell you guys are. I personally know, like, delete, block, like, there's, if you know, there's like the only people I follow back and see are like my friends, my family, and people who I work with in the industry I am in. as far as like the podcasting realm. So yeah, no random strangers. But definitely it's interesting in like these are minors, like teenagers, high schoolers, middle schoolers. Definitely I'm trying to speculate in my head if I during that time myself, because it's so much more available now. But anyways, continuing on. Once the images are sent and the perpetrators will screenshot them, Snapchat alert users when other users take screenshot of their messages. I'm not a big Snapchat person, so I know very little. But I heard originally when I heard Snapchat is supposed to be like this one and go thing, but apparently there's like they save stuff in databases that you can still screenshot things, but bad actors use an app or another phone to capture the nudes images so they don't get caught. Oh my god, why can't I say that? Or was it
Perpetrators.
Yeah. Perpetrators send the image back to the victim and threaten to expose them if they do not send money. Some bad actors will use templates that place the nudes image next to a screenshot of the victim's friends list on Instagram and their social media apps. Let's see here. Quote, a lot of people on Instagram's friends list are public, so bad actors will go on Instagram, screenshot a giant list of the victim's friends, and then once they get the nude image, they will screenshot it, shrink it down, and then paste it next to the image alongside the friends list. And I'll send this nude image to all your users on Instagram if you don't send me the money. Yeah, it's just extortion basically. Yeah, it's and we can continue with the article.
Blackmail essentially too.
Yeah, it's blackmail.
Blackmail and extortion.
It's a thing where, and it sounds like it's a growing problem for young men, mostly in this day and age. I can see why the whole manosphere has been growing too, where like it's just like F women at this point, and it's been wild seeing that side of the spectrum grow too, of just like boys just like what is it? Objectifying? Not objectifying. What's the word? Belittling women. I think that's the best way I can. That whole space. We've talked about this before. We haven't dived into it because it's not really. It's like it's a talking point, but it's not like what we are specifically talking about. Mostly with this specifically, this is where some of these people, these kids, these boys are like desperate, and they're vulnerable and then
horny. They're vulnerable and horny, and of course they're utilizing that that not sensitivity, but the vulnerability, using that. So
and then from there, you just they think they have someone like some potential person, and then nope, it's a person who's about to like ruin your life, and it can get really bad. As we see, we can continue with the article because it can result in really bad things. Because most people, if something like this would happen, a lot of people don't talk about it. Like it was mentioned, a lot of these don't get reported. Mostly when it becomes these things, like a lot of people want to keep this private, or just ignore it and just.
They're very embarrassed, or yeah.
Like it, not just now. This is just now expanding from what this article is like. Not just like for young boys. It's like anyone can get extorted because of like not only just what is it, sexual images, but also information, things like that. People get blackmailed for a lot, and it's a thing that's nothing new, but it's becoming easier and easier to do, because with Snapchat you can just make a random account, you can catfish someone, and then then you have someone hook, line, and sinker, and they become your piggy bank until sadly some people either drown themselves or in depression, or end up unaliving themselves because it's just too much, because you can't really talk about it. And it's And it's one of those things. Once again, we're going back to the talks of like really letting people know that there are places to talk, to like talking to if you're a young individual, like definitely talking to your parents as much as they might like. For at first, they're there to protect you for the most part. As much as some of the stories we've talked about, some parents do not protect their kids whatsoever, but some of the good ones out there are there to protect you from whatever dumb decision or dumb mistake you made. They'll do their best.
We've all done it.
So it's one of those things like you have to really like, and sometimes you as a parent you have to kind of then take note of like some strange behaviors too, like what and keep an eye sometimes what your kids are doing, mostly when they are on these social medias like Snapchat, like Instagram, Twitter, because these are the things that are really affecting I would say Gen Z individuals a lot now. And we're just about to get Gen Alpha into this space as well. It's definitely like, as much as like we said earlier, there's a lot of potential for a lot of positivity. There's way more chances for them to get hit with these negative like effects, basically. What are some of the things running through your head? Mostly like as a parent trying to raise a kid in this thing.
It's sad. I mean, as a parent, I would hope my child would come to me and say, "Hey, I might have made this accident, and these people are trying to extort money. They need money out of me." I think parents need to be alert. Hey, mom, can I have your credit card or debit card, or can I have an allotment of I don't know, say $500. I don't know. Can I have my $500 for the month? And be like, no.
Bro, who's getting like what? Who's getting?
I'm just saying, hypothetically, I'm just saying, like, people asking for money, they'd be like, hey, is there any way? I mean, we should be as vigilant too about, hey, they're asking a little more money frequently, or watching our credit cards, debit cards a little bit more cautiously, and be like, hey, I saw this transaction from PayPal account to this random account. I have no idea who this is. Do you know? I mean, I think we should have this open line of communication. As a parent, especially, I would definitely have that. I tell my kid, you need to talk to me. I can't help you if you don't talk to me. But like, I'm not gonna criticize you. I need to know information. Like, if this is how you feel or this is what's going on, I need to know. I mean, I think we should be, as a parent, as millennials that I am, be more communicative. I think if my parents were were more communicative with me, I would have had a better, different relationship with them. But yes, I think that's why I'm opposite. Is like, I want them to come. I want my daughter to come to me. I want her to tell me, hey, I might have done this accidentally. Is there any way we can get around this? I mean, that's why that's so important. I know that girls are taught to be more cautious online. This article even touches on that, because that's true. I mean, women have to be more cautious and more proactive about that kind of stuff. So that's why. And I think it's, we should be discussing with the boys. Two boys get that way too. Boys, men, young, however they are, whatever age they are, they should be all talked to too. I think that's where we need to have open line communications to all genders, and just, hey, this stuff is happening. Be careful. Don't get caught up in the scam and yada yada. And I think we need to have open conversations with everybody, and to not get, if that happens, they got caught under that thing, we should be more like, hey, all right, well, this is the avenue we should be going down. Okay, well, who's this person who we can talk to, and who can we, get law enforcement involved? And I think if we did the right path, that we have rectified the situation, yes, it's going to be scarring that person to be coming forward in a minute, but at least if we have that open line of communication, we have more positivity coming out of it, and not these negative effects that are happening to these people. I mean, yeah, we all have done stupid and dumb stuff. We shouldn't, we should play it like that too. We should be, we've done that. We should have, allow our kids to have the same situation. hopefully they don't do that kind of situation, but we can be more proactive in it. Hence, talk to them. Kids to listen, whether you think they're not or not.
Exactly. So let's see here. Let's do kind of this final statement. Educating the public about extortion. So the former Snapchat employee told Fox News Digital that Snapchat and other social media apps have a moderation technology in place to prevent repeated offenders from exploiting more victims. For example, they can pick up on indicators of bad behavior that may result in banning an account, such as a Nigerian user who signed up a new account and a friend request 10,000 people in 24 hours. He added, however, he thinks that Snapchat and other companies should get a forefront on sextortion and make a growing issue known to the public before the crime harmed more teenagers, like the ones based on this story. But yeah, it's definitely like, as much as like some people are gonna say just ban the app, people are gonna keep using it. Like it's up to the individual, the user, and the parents to kind of mitigate some of the stuff. Just start up some sort of public campaign. Say if somebody you don't know asks for a nude image, this is what extortion is. There is a sign of it, and please be aware of it. That's kind of like, that should be like the first like red flag. You know, as horny as some people are, you gotta really kind of red flag these things on social media. That should be like your number one. Nope. You know what? No. Snapchat spokesperson said that the social media app is creating an education in-app series called Safety Snapchat, which will cover a range of issues, including sextortion, sexting, and the consequence of creating and sharing nude photos on the platform, as well as child online grooming and trafficking. That's something positive, you know, as much as that's a positive thing. It's like, it's sad that that's where we're getting it, but at least there's going to be a resource as far as Snapchat is concerned. Let's see here. Anything else really in there? Obviously, none of the technology companies want to come out and say, hey, underage male users are being exploited on our platforms. Yeah, definitely. Sounds really bad if they said that. Facebook and Twitter and, you know, Tumblr, they don't want to come out and say that. Yeah, that's definitely true. Former employees own advise victims of sextortion to understand that once the victim gives money to the perpetrators, the threat will not stop. That's true. Yeah, some people think like once I give them the money, they're gonna stop. No, it never ends. It never ends.
Yeah.
No, once a nude image is shared, this blackmail starts. It doesn't stop until you run out of money or you decide you can no longer participate in this. They ask for 100, they ask for 1,000, they ask for 10,000. That will just keep asking for more. And children should first tell their parents, like we were talking about sextortion. Next, victims should block bad actors and report instances of crime to local law enforcement. You just gotta.
That's what I said.
That's one of those things. Like there's actually.
I didn't even read that part.
Yeah, because there are certain like agencies that actually like will take the account and continue the interaction until they get enough data from that person to be able to arrest an actual person. Because the thing is, being online, a lot of these people are anonymous and they can just get away with it and make a new account and they'll just continue and they'll just like, they can get away with it. But yeah, that's any final thoughts on this story to kind of close off your return, just some educating the people, because it's like, as much as this is like, it's a wild story, but it's a story that we tell because it's an important one. We have to let the people know, because sometimes people don't know about this. They don't talk about it. It's like, it's
not broadcast. This article has not been broadcast, and I think we need to make this aware. I know like a lot of people say, hey, you shouldn't be, and we're like, well, I think we should be telling people. Not everybody listens to or watches the news like everybody you know. And there's like articles that slip under the radar, and I think that's what I come in and I think we both do is a due diligence. We need to help the public, and I think we're helping you guys out and telling you about this craziness. I mean, so let's. I want just be careful, guys. Be due diligence. Watch your kids. Just communicate. Hey, you screwed up. We're gonna help you out. You know, make this happen.
Exactly. As much as, you know, I would like to be talking about Taylor Swift and the NFL situation. That would get us more views. Bringing these type of stories up, as difficult it is for some people in these topics, it's important. Like you mentioned earlier, it's best to talk about it. We like to goof and gaff, but sometimes we have to throw in a real story just to kind of like, hey, you guys need to know that this is happening. It's going to happen. It's probably happening. You never know. Some people hide it. Like we said earlier, these icebergs, like only a very limited amount of people on the top say anything about it. And it's the people who are under the iceberg that are like drowning and are just suffering. And sometimes they don't make it way back up. But yeah. So yeah, everyone, thank you for joining us. Liz, welcome back.
Hey, I'm glad to be back.
So yeah, hopefully you'll be 100% in the sooner than later, but you know, we're glad to have you back at 80%.
That's about right. That's about right.
Like I said, there's gonna be a bonus episode where we're gonna kind of talk about all the good, the bad, the ugly, the wedding we attended, with a potential special guest. Because yeah, there are some fun things that we'd like to continue with that. Because we could probably talk for like hours about everything we went through, because it was like a 3-day event.
Yeah, I only did about 2, guys. I didn't do all 3. I couldn't do it.
So Liz might get some new facts there.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be hearing the juicy facts.
So yeah,
so it'll be like my first preemptively. What did I miss?
Exactly. So you guys can listen to in the bonus episode. But yeah, like I said, if you like share the show, it's one of the best ways to let people know more about some of the things we talked about, because sharing it helps, not only helps us, it helps you guys, and it helps other people who we want to spread some of these information with, and all the fun, the bad, and the more serious things out there. But yeah, share it on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook. Word of mouth, like we always say, word of mouth. Like tell a friend, tell a family member, let them know who these 2 random people online are talking about. And if like you want to help us support financially, because it's for us, it's around that time where we're gonna start like paying our bills.
Don't remind me.
I know. You know, it help us by purchasing merch at tyrantdominus.com. It helps because the little cost that we do pay costs a little bit, but it's still, you know, some money out of our pocket. We're willing to pay for it, but you know, if you guys help us out, you get something in return by representing some of it. But yeah, so. Everyone, thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time, see ya!